Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I am the CHALL, Rovers till I die. The back three at the club. What's going to happen? What's the best way to suit the back three? Who could we bring in the January window? Because let's be perfectly honest here, a centre-back is something that I think we should be investing in the January transfer window. And also, how can we best set out our three at the back and who suits the three at the back more? Now, please do like, comment, subscribe. Please do use the socials in the bottom of your screen and in the description down below. Make sure you do click the notification bell. We do have some brilliant projects coming up over the next couple of weeks here on the channel. We've got another interview with John Ryan to come, so I'm looking forward to that one. We have also announced yesterday a major collaboration with a big Premier League fan channel, so do look out for that at the end of November. Stay tuned, I will be revealing more and more on weekly teasers. But this video is all about the back three because, as you know, Danny Schofield's preferred formation is a 3-4-3 or /5-2-3 when we're defending. And as part of that 3-4-3, it requires the back three. Now, the back three is paramount, in my opinion, to the 3-4-3, the 5-2-3, however you want to set it out. But it is mainly an attack as a 3-4-3. The back three, for me, is very, very pivotal, along with that double pivot, along with the wide forward / wingers, along with that striker. You know, having the back three is pivotal to the way we play. We do play out from the back. That is one of the paramounts of this formation, playing out from the back a lot more. Yes, it's dangerous. Yes, it's risky. But if you have a calmness about your players, then you can definitely play out from the back safely and efficiently in an attacking way. And I'm sure Schofield will want to try and get that message across. Overall, against Kingsland in the FA Cup, we didn't show that. That will come. I think it will come over time, but it requires a certain level of awareness, a sense of calmness, composure, communication, all skills that I'm sure players will want to keep improving in. So today's video is all about discussing the back three, assessing the back three, who should be in it, who should be starting in it and why, and also looking at potential signings in January to assist in the back three. So let's start off with who's available in terms of centre-backs at the moment at the club. So ignore the youth academy because they will come over time. But in terms of senior back three members, you've got Tom Anderson, you've got ro-shaun Williams, you've got Bobby Faulkner, you've got Ollie Younger, you've got Joseph Olowu, and Adam Long. So first of all, look at the age range of these players. Tom Anderson is, what, 28? Something like that, 28, 29. ro-shaun Williams, I believe, is 23, 24. Long's 21. Olowu's, I think, 21, 22. Younger, I think, is 21, 22. And Faulkner's obviously 18. So look there at the array of talent in the centre-back role. You've got there a very much 4 or 5 out of 6 that are in the bracket of 18 to 23. And that's what Coppinger has come out in the press and deemed your development phase players, your development players, 18 to 23. Most, if not nearly all, of the centre-backs in our team are development phase. ro-shaun Williams came from the United Academy, Olowu from Arsenal Academy, obviously Williams used to play for Shrewsbury as well. Younger from Sunderland Academy, Long from Wigan Academy. Anderson came in obviously as a youngster from Burnley but has been with us for a while now, and obviously Bobby Faulkner is a homegrown academy talent, which I love the sound of. So when you look on paper at the centre-backs we've got at our disposal, you've got very much a development-based centre-back range. Now, the main thing for me is keep improving on that. I think the development seems to be the key here, and I think that's probably one of the main reasons why Danny Schofield's head coach, probably one of the main reasons why Paul Schofield and sorry, not Paul Schofield. Why am I saying Paul Schofield? I've forgotten his name already. Amnesia. No, Paul Green, the legendary Paul Green, and Chad Gribble. Well, Chad Gribble's the assistant head coach. Paul Green is the first team transition coach, head coach, and obviously Danny Schofield's the head coach. So That right there, they might not have a lot of experience amongst them on the coaching side, but you got Schofield there, who's played in the Football League, got his chance at Huddersfield, was treated, in my opinion, quite harshly. Turned down a job in the Belgian Premiership in the summer before choosing Huddersfield, and then became head coach at Rovers sort of midway through that season. You got Paul Green, who is an absolute Rovers legend on the pitch. We know about his glory days. We know about him as a midfielder. He has officially retired as a player to become the first team phase transition coach. So congratulations and best of luck in your retirement, Paul. Obviously, he's going to come work with the first team now. And of course, Chad Gribble, he's got experience working with the X2 youth. He's been there for a long, long time, working with the likes of Ben Christine, Ollie Watkins, you know, those players coming through, Randall Williams. Josh Key, obviously, as well. So look at the amount of talent that Gribble's worked with. Greeny has an eye for talent. Schofield has worked with some younger players. We should be in a decent position with the development players we've got at our disposal in the back line. If Schofield wants to play out from the back, if he wants to use these players, he's got a perfect opportunity to develop them. For me, he's a real youth or development phase type head coach. He's very much a youth motivator. And I see Schofield working with the next generation of players. It's just a case now of, can we get that development out of them? If not, what happens next? Now, the main thing about a back three, like I said, composure, communication. Playing out from the back is obviously very, very dangerous. You need a calmness, you need an awareness. The big thing with me with these players in the back three, and look, people can say all they want, oh, I want this player sold, I want this player sold, I want this player sold. Schofield came out and said these players can play in a back three. And when you actually look at the strengths and weaknesses of these players and what they need to improve on, they can be used in a back three. Heck, some of these players that played under Richie Wellens and Gary McSheffrey have played in a back three from time to time. ro-shaun Williams has been here since Richie Wellens was here. Ollie Young has been here since Gary McSheffrey was first team manager. Oluwu's been here since Richie Wellens. Anderson's been here since bloody Darren Ferguson. You know, we're talking Fergie times here with Tom Anderson. Bobby Faulkner is obviously homegrown. Wellens gave him the official contract and he was brought through from McSheffrey. Long, McSheffrey, and then obviously you've got so Anderson, Faulkner, Long, Williams, Oluwu, and Younger. So yeah, like I said, a few of them are McSheffrey. Some of them involve Richie Wellens, and obviously Anderson's been there the longest. So some of these players have played in the back three at times. They can do it. They can adapt around it. And you look at the type of defenders they are, and I went through every single one of the 6 centre-backs, and I sort of listed as to what I feel they are. So for me, your left-sided centre-backs in the back three would be Oluwu and Long. That would be my left-sided ones. My right-sided one would be Younger. And also ro-shaun Williams. And this is one of the main discussion points I want to talk about today. ro-shaun Williams playing in the centre of back three. I don't think that works particularly well. Do you want me to be brutally honest? I don't think that works particularly well. If you put ro-shaun Williams on the right side of a back three, could work a bit better. That's just my personal opinion, because I think obviously he has played right back in the past in his career as well. So I'd see maybe Williams as a right-sided centre-back. For me, he's not very pacey, though. I don't see Williams as a pacey right-sided centre-back. I think if you were going to see out a game, you would have Long, Williams and Anderson as your sort of back three, as 3 stoppers. Don't get me wrong, Long has got some pace on him as a centre-back, but I think Long is also a stopper as well. So I would have Long, Anderson and Williams to see out a game as a back three if you wanted 3 flat stoppers. If you wanted pace in the defence, you have Oluwu on the left, you could stick with Long on the left-hand side, you could go with Younger on the right-hand side, or you would invest in a brand new right-sided centre-back. Anderson and Faulkner I see as your proper centre of the back three, your no-nonsense, your stoppers, your shot stoppers. Don't get me wrong, they can do defensive duties, different defensive duties on either side, but I don't think that's their best positions. I see Anderson or Faulkner being the ones in the centre, Williams and Young are at the moment competing on the right-hand side, and then Long and Oluwu on the left-hand side. Now, let's look at who's injured at the moment. As of recording this, Oluwu is still recovering, Younger is still out, and Anderson's still out. You've got Faulkner, you've got Williams, and you've got Long. So right now, take the injuries into consideration. Our best back three is probably Long at left centre-back, Faulkner in the middle, and Williams on the right. That may not always work, but I think that's probably the best way we can start the back three at this moment. Anderson, when he comes back, will probably take over from Faulkner just because of the fact that Faulkner does still need a little bit of time. Obviously, you can still play Faulkner on that right-hand side as well. However, I think Anderson or Faulkner will work in the centres of the back three rather than Faulkner having to be utilised on the right-hand side of the back three. I don't think that's his best position in the back three. When Young comes back, he's got more pace than Williams. Is he a better defender than Williams? I think on his best day, he's proven at times that he can be. But there has been times, don't get me wrong, that ro-shaun Williams has been one of the most improved defenders this season, which is weird to say because there has been occasions where Williams has not been amazing. So he has improved from last season, ro-shaun Williams. I'll be brutally honest. People may disagree, but I believe wholeheartedly that ro-shaun Williams has improved from last season in areas. Still needs to work in some areas, you know, and we can get into that conversation a different day. But ro-shaun Williams for me has improved on last season. He still needs work, but he has improved slightly on last season. So at the moment, Williams starts just because of how long Young has been out. Then you look at the left-hand side, Long and Oluwu. Oluwu's been out for a little while. Long you'd see start because I think he's been one of the better of the centre-backs in the recent games. And Oluwu will need time to come back. Now, there is that case of the January transfer window. Who would you bring in the centre of defence if that is one of the positions that Schofield want to improve in the window? Now, I know there's a lot of people going out saying, well, I don't think the board will back the manager. Let's just wait and see. Let's just wait and see. I do want the board to back the manager, and I have a good feeling that they could back the manager. If they don't, I'll be very, very annoyed. But trust me, I do believe they will back the manager in the window. I think there'll be at least 3 or 4 signings. I'm aiming around 2 to 4 signings. Maybe even an extra loanee. Overall, I would say that centre of defence is probably key to that, but it just depends on what kind of defender you're after. Now for me, I think the kind of defender I would be after in that back three is probably a right-sided defender with a bit of pace, or I'd go for that proper right-sided centre-back, someone who can play in the back three on the right-hand side. So I've gone through a few names. This is not a sort of definitive list. It's just a few names that I've had a glance over and a bit of a research over to maybe have a look and see who's available in the market. And I think these names could do a job. Like I say, it's not a definitive list. I am planning a huge January transfer window recruitment plan video like I did in the summer at the end of December. So stay tuned for that big video, which is going to be a massive, massive video. But let's go through the names of the players that I've gone with. So name number 1 on the list is actually a loan deal, and it's for Man City's Finley Burns. So he's made 10 appearances and 2 assists in Premier League 2 division, as well as 5 appearances in the UEFA Youth League, which, if you don't know what that is, basically it's the Academy Champions League. Finley Burns, you know, 18 years old, has got a bright future for me. I think I've seen qualities of him that makes him look like a really good young defender. I think some experience could do him some good, and I think down on that right-hand side could provide some real good quality of depth. And I think he's a good loan player. I think he could be a really good player. And I think someone who could be worth taking a chance on. Now, next up, I've gone for someone from the Irish Premiership. Now, this is Jordan Doherty. He can play in the centre defensive midfield as well. And he is from Bohemians Football Club. Now, he's out of contract in late 2023. However, 22 years old. I see plenty of potential in this guy. I've looked at some of his highlights at Bohemians, and I've seen some of his moments at Bohemians. He looks a pretty good defender. And if there's any Bohemian fans out there, please comment down below any more about Jordan Doherty to help educate the rest of the Rovers fan base and any other Football League fan about Jordan Doherty. I do think he's a good defender. Now, next up, we've got Jack Fitzwater. West Brom fans may be familiar with that name. Livingston, obviously Livingston are 4th in the Scottish Premiership as we record record this. He can play at right back, at centre back. He's out of contract in 2023. This one's the most unlikely, just because of the fact that Livingston are 4th in the Scottish Premiership. You know, Fitzwater's out of contract, but will a Scottish Premiership player that's 4th in the Scottish Premiership come to a League Two club that could be staying in League Two for another season at least? Probably not. Probably not. I could be wrong, but probably not. But I think the qualities of Fitzwater are that he can play as right back and centre back, which helps him out heavily with that right foot and that right hand side. So I think playing him as the right hand sided centre back in a back three, with his previous experience at right back as well, could prove to be key. Now, the next defender I've got on my list is a proper goal scoring defender and someone who could really help out. And it's from a team in the National League that's really been impressing people again this year. And that is, of course, Aaron Hayden from Wrexham. 9 goals in 17 games in the Vanarama National League. Now, he is out of contract in 2024, so this kind of deal you'd be looking at as maybe not a January transfer, but you'd be looking at him as a summer recruitment. And he isn't that old either. I think he's somewhat like, what, 23, 24, something like that. Again, he's not too old, getting into what he's sort of just above that development phase, and would be a decent player to have in the squad, and especially with his goal record as a centre-back, 9 goals in 17 games already in the National League for Wrexham. That is a decent goal record for a centre-back. And again, right-footed, I'm on that right-hand side as a back three, could work. Now, finally, is someone I've gone with on the left-hand side. Now, the reason why I've gone with a left-footed centre-back is you've got the potential opportunity there to have someone with a left foot to play on the opposite side of the back three to offer something different on the right hand side, whether it's him or one of the other left sided centre backs like an Adam Long or Joseph Holloway. But to be fair, I do remember, I think, previous occasions where we have played Long on the right side before and it's not worked as well. So I think keep Long on the left hand side for me. Maybe Olu gets a chance at right centre back, because Olu, I believe, has experience at right back as well. I believe in the Arsenal academy. So I think Olu could play on the right hand side if this guy wants to be depth for the left hand side, and that is Bjorn Hardley. Now, he's from Man United, 10 appearances, a goal and assist this season. It would be a loan deal from United, and the reason why I've gone with Bjorn Hadley is, of course, this Man United partnership. Now, I've not done a video on this yet, but it might be a good opportunity to talk about it now. It's this kind of pro experience program, so it was only like a couple of training sessions. So basically what happened, Sam Meyer, or Meira, I think that's how it's pronounced, and Maximilian Oyedele, the Polish Salford-born under-18s defensive midfielder, and you've got Sam Meyer, which is the 18-year-old winger, came to us and was training with us ahead of that game against Barnsley in the Papa John's Trophy. Bobby Faulkner and Carl Hurst, we believe, went over to the training ground at United to get experience. It's sort of like a sort of swap training deal. This is just for senior training experience. Obviously, it was a proud moment for Bobby, proud moment for Kyle, and for Maxie and Sam to come to Cantley Park and help train and warm up with the squad. Obviously, it was a bit of a great experience for the lads. So it's all about this partnership, about getting the youngsters that came into us ready for this sort of, you know, potential loan moves in the future and help with their development going forward, which I think is a wonderful program. No Rovers fan should be afraid of this. I think it should be wonderful that we're working with these clubs to help their development, help their aid, and, you know, gain that recognition as well. Because I think if you gain traction and recognition and a bit of a profile for yourself as someone who can be trusted with aiding the development of younger players and be a part of this program, it could bring a lot of traction to the club. So I think from an off-pitch point of view, I think it's a fantastic partnership deal, and hopefully one that I think we should be doing more of with other clubs. I think there's a really good opportunity here for Doncaster Rovers off the pitch to expand on these pro experience partnerships with not just United, but expand it with other clubs as well, in the Premier League and etc. So I think it's a real opportunity here for Doncaster Rovers to expand that pro experience partnership across other clubs, and could be a really good opportunity off the pitch. But no, I think Bjorn Hadley as a Man United representative could be a nice way of being repaid by United for this pro experience programme, loaning in a couple of their younger players. We gave them a couple of ours for a bit of training, etc. And And yeah, overall, I feel like Bjorn Hadley, even though he's a left-footed centre-back, could prove to be actually a decent loan signing as a Dutch representative as well at youth level, I believe. So there's a few centre-backs on there. Obviously, there are more out there. There are more experienced names on there, like there's a 23-year-old called Gabriel Osho from Luton, out of contract in the summer, but he has played quite a few games in the Championship mainly from off the bench, but there has been some starting appearances as well, so that might put us off that kind of move, especially if we're staying in League Two for another year and we don't go up this year, which would be sad, but a lot of people did expect it. And that brings me on. It comes to the final sort of part of this video, and that is, should we look for a more experienced defender? Now, like I said, Tom Anderson and I believe ro-shaun Williams, I think it's 24. I could be wrong though. I don't know if I'm wrong or not. I think he might be 22 or 23, one of the two. But let's just say for now, just Tom Anderson. Tom Anderson's the only one of the 6 centre backs over that development phase of 18 to 23. So right now, you've only got technically one experienced defender, or quite experienced defender in the centre-back 3. I think if you bring a bit more experience to the back line, you could have a better showing, should we say, of the back 3, and a bit more leadership of the back 3. So, and a bit more calmness as well. I think calmness comes with experience, and some of these lads are still learning. So I think if you bring an experienced leader into that dressing room, you could give yourself a bit more of a chance to make a huge success of it long term with the younger players. If you have those leaders like your Tom Andersons, obviously there's the outfield players that will give some leadership voices to the dressing room as well. Your Tommy Rose, your Adam Claytons, people like that. Lee Tomlin did it before he retired as well. So I think if you bring an experienced defender, and I will look at doing another video on potential experienced centre-backs to bring in during the January market, that could provide a voice for the dressing room, that could provide a leader and a mentor for the younger centre-backs. So you've got Tom Anderson. We could look at maybe bringing in another experienced centre-back to work with him, to mentor some of the younger lads. So I will do a separate video on experienced centre-backs, but that is it for this video, guys. Do make sure you like, comment, subscribe. There is plenty more videos to come. Like I said, John Ryan interview coming up in the next couple of weeks. We do have this huge partnership at the end of the month with a major Premier League fan channel, so stay tuned for more clues over the next few weeks as to the reveal of that, who that may be. We are also going to do that video with experienced centre-backs and who we could look at in the January market from an experience point of view. We've got the Grimsby preview coming on Friday. We've got the review coming on the Saturday or the Sunday, depending what time we get back from Grimsby. We've got the matchday report coming as well. It's going to be a packed week on the channel, so do stay tuned for more videos. And for now, ladies and gentlemen, I am the CHALL, Rovers Side Die. Ta-ra for now.